Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And after a, super wildcard weekend, it's time to look ahead to the divisional round of the playoffs. 8 teams remain. This has already been a fun postseason, and I'm sure we got some memorable moments up ahead coming this weekend. We've got 4 good games. Let's pick them. First, Jordan, what do we got?
Yeah, so last week was super and irregular. This week, more normal because now it's just the same amount of teams that would have been
It's not as super, but it's
in the
still
divisional
fun.
round anyways.
Yeah,
But
it's super, but it's not super.
there's a lot of good teams in this divisional round. We start with the Packers and the Rams. Now, this is definitely going to be probably the biggest spread of the day based off of what the points are going to be. The Rams are going to be big underdogs in this game, and it makes sense. Jared Goff is injured right now with his thumb. Cooper Kupp went down at the end of the game. And so did Aaron Donald. That's very important 3 people to that team. I think from what I've heard so far, they will be able to play. But how well will they be able to play? That is going to be determined on game day. But the Packers have been rolling right now. They just had a week off, and Aaron Rodgers is going to continue his MVP season, in my opinion. I think the Rams defense can put up a fight, but their offense is going to need to have their best game of the season if they want any chance at winning this game. I think the Packers will win 31-20.
Well, the first storyline with this game is that the Packers, they're at home and they're rested, and they're very difficult to beat up there at Lambeau, especially when it's cold like this, and everyone's going to say, oh, the Rams from sunny Los Angeles, will they be able to make that adjustment? But, I mean, people have a lot of fair questions about this, and last time I checked, Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp were on track to play, so I'm assuming that's still the case, because that's honestly 2 really big things. I mean, both these teams, their best players named Aaron, so it's kind of ironic, but those 2 guys are really going to be the game changers in their matchups.
There's a lot of Aarons in this game.
Yeah, there are Aaron Jones, Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers. Missing any? The 3 is still pretty decent amount. So like significant players too. But anyway, when you look at this game, I think
maybe Aaron Andrews will be there. It's not spelled the same way.
No, maybe. We'll see. That'd be 4. But anyway, obviously you've got Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I think the key for the Rams is win the battle of time of possession. Have methodical 7-8 minute drives, because Aaron Rodgers can't do anything if he doesn't have the ball in his hands. You have this nice group of running backs: Cam Akers, Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson is still hurt right now. He's on IR. But you still have Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown have been doing really good. Don't overdo it. Jared Goff, even though he was playing hurt, he's another week removed from that surgery. He looked solid. I mean, he didn't blow up the statue. He missed some throws, but I mean, you probably wouldn't have known if you didn't. Like, you probably wouldn't have known he was playing hurt unless you
saw the wrap on his finger.
Yeah, honestly. But honestly, I think that with that defense and with that run game, I think the Rams win the time of possession battle, have nice, solid 5-yard runs, 6-yard runs, keep up with the chains, those long methodical drives. They win the time of possession battle. They win it they win the game between the trenches. And yes, they win this game. Upset for you. Rams win 27-26.
I thought I was bold last week picking the Rams against the Seahawks. You just picked the Rams against the Packers, the best team in the NFC.
I did.
And the Rams are more banged up right now than they were going into that other game. It's bold.
It is bold, but,
so,
I made a good
point. I
like
a bold prediction. I made a bunch last week.
And it's not a knock on the Packers. I mean, it's just the Rams. I picked against them.
They're going to have to play a perfect game, though.
Yeah, but with that defense, I think they can keep them in the game. And like I said, with the run game, I think they have the ability to have those methodical drives, eat up clock, don't let Aaron Rodgers have the ball for 10 minutes. I think they could do that. I think they win the game.
But when Aaron Rodgers does have the ball, he'll probably score.
Yeah, I have a one-point game,
right.
so it'll be back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, you made a good point when you sent this to us in our Touchdown Table group chat. You said are we really going to see all the 1 and 2 seeds go to the next round? I don't think so. Actually, I mean, we'll find out based on our picks here. But
really? You just spoiled your picks.
I didn't say anything here. I never said anything.
You just did.
But I will say this now. I don't agree with Ryan with this pick. Unfortunately, these Rams who are playing the Packers eliminated my Super Bowl pick from the NFC in the Seattle Seahawks, which means I'm now riding with the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to obviously pick them to win this game. So 33-26, getting the job done in Lambeau. I think the cold is going to have an effect on that Rams offense in a big way. All right, next up is the Ravens and the Bills. This time I put it in order of being played, so it makes more sense.
There you go.
So this one should be one of the more fun games this weekend, although they all should be good games, I think. It's going to be a battle. These 2 teams have been hot recently. They've both been on win streaks. Ravens started off bad early on in the season, but since then they've been picking up, and now they got that that stressful part of their narrative that they couldn't win that playoff game. They got it out of the way, and who knows what they can do from here. I think they're going to lose, and it's going to end, and that all the glory we see from Lamar will last one game as the Bills keep their Super Bowl hopes alive, winning this one 31-29. But I think the Ravens put up a good fight, and if I wouldn't be too shocked if they pulled off the upset.
Yeah, first of all, Baltimore really did impress me in that game. I think the way that they were able to play on defense, make plays when they needed to play. Lamar Jackson did what he needed to do, had a solid game. The decision making was good for the most part, shook off the early struggle. So props to him and that team for shaking that narrative and kind of getting revenge on the Titans. So props to them, and they should be happy.
The Titans?
What?
Remember them?
Like the movie? I guess, yes. And that's kind of turning into a rivalry of its own, so that'll be a fun thing to watch. Yeah,
no stopping on the touchdown table logo. Okay?
Yeah.
Never do that.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that...
I'll find you.
With this game, I mean, it just comes down to the quarterbacks. It's Josh Allen's arm versus Lamar Jackson's legs. And I say this with the Ravens. You know exactly what they're going to try to do on offense. The question is just, can you stop it, yes or no? For the Titans, their pass rush is not good. So the answer was no. They couldn't keep Lamar in the pocket enough. They couldn't really, get consistent stops. Early they did. They got a couple nice sacks there, but he just got out of the pocket because their passing game isn't great. Like, the number one receiver is Marquise Brown. He's solid, but he's not like, Hopkins or Julio Jones or Devontae Adams or anything. So the question is, can you contain Lamar enough? Because you know exactly what they're going to try to do. It's a one-dimensional offense. You know what they're going to do. It's no secret. And that's why I don't think they're built for a Super Bowl run. And that's why I think the Bills have a more diverse offense. I'm just not picking against Josh Allen and this team right now. He's playing, really good, this offense. I said it last week. They're Kansas City-like. Maybe we'll see the Bills and the Chiefs next week. Who knows? But I got the Bills winning this game 34-23, and the Bills get another playoff win. Enjoy it, Bills Mafia, if you win, which I think you will.
Well, both of these teams right now are playing really, really good. They're both hot. I think you could argue two of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. The Ravens have been on a good stretch. You can make the argument they're playing against bad teams, but they still have been playing really good. And the Bills, it's really been a huge story. Everyone's been watching them. Everyone's been loving what they've seen from them. But I think the key to this game, if the Ravens want to win this game, they have to get going fast. They cannot start slow. They were down 10-0 last game against the Titans, and they're not a team that's built to come back from these deficits. Ryan explained it. They're more of a run-first team. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to get the run game going, but also Lamar is going to have to do something with his arm because his defense is certainly going to sell out to stop the run, and that's when Lamar can show if he can really be that quarterback right now that can lead his team to a Super Bowl from his arm. So that'll be the key to this game, in my opinion. Ravens got to start fast, and Lamar's got to play good with his arm. And even if he does that, I still think the Bills would have a good shot of winning because of just how well they've been playing right now. I do have that happening. I have the Bills winning 28-24. Next game we have up is the Chiefs and the Browns. The Browns, it was pretty good. I guess you could say on Sunday night, right, against the Steelers. A lot of smack talk from the Steelers coming into that game, and I guess they got their memes full after it all. Many players got memed. It was kind of fun to watch.
They've been getting memed all season. It was just
if you talk the talk, you got to go out there and win the game.
Why would you even say that?
Well, I think you're talking about what Juju said.
Yeah.
Well, Juju said stuff.
Which thing he said?
Chase Claypool said stuff.
If you look at the quote that Juju said, it sounds like he was completely trashing them. And if you look at the actual press conference and how he was saying it, it seemed like he was kind of not trying to throw it. Maybe it was a subtle little roast, but if you just look at the quote, it looks a lot worse than it was if you watch it. Sorry about that microphone.
Well, anyway, so Steelers, they're gone. We're talking about the Browns now. And they played well in that game, like I said. But also it seemed like the Steelers were giving them a lot of stuff, which, you take what you can get. But I don't think the Chiefs, in fact, I know the Chiefs are not just going to give you things like the Steelers gave them. I mean, heck, on the first play from scrimmage, they gave him a touchdown, the Steelers did. Chiefs aren't going to do that. Mahomes and his squad, a lot of them off of 2 weeks of rest. So we'll see how that affects them. It could be positive. It could be negative. Sometimes you need to keep going out there and playing and play good. Sometimes you can just come back out in the field and it's going to be like nothing happened because you're just that good. I think this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be closer than some people might pick it. I have it being a one-score game, and I have the Chiefs, who I have going to the Super Bowl, winning this game 30-23.
Well, first of all, props to the Browns for, getting that playoff win against the division rival after, all the, hate against you and the Browns is the Browns or whatever he said, and just all the trash talk, all the, like kind of just Baker slander, you could say. Just really, they're not always a team that the media is kind to, winning or losing, and there's just teams that are like that. But props to them. I hope their fan
They're
base
kind to them now.
What? No, now they are. Yeah, but I mean, throughout the season and throughout their rough history, like it's been a while since they've been this good. So enjoy being in the final 8. And I think when you look at that game, when Cleveland gets ahead, they're just so hard to and especially like that much, like 21, 28. They're so hard to gain on. They're so hard to play catch up with.
Who's the team that came back in the playoffs a bunch of games last year?
I know. And I'm going to talk about them in a second. I'm going to
yeah.
talk about them in a second. They did it all their playoff games last year. But I'm talking about Cleveland, and I'm saying when they get far ahead and other teams try and play catch up, they're just so good at holding that lead and keeping the momentum. Because sure, there were times where Pittsburgh, maybe are they coming back? But with the Browns, when you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, that
they played
best
good,
running
by the way.
duo, they did play
they
good,
played
outstandingly.
very, really good.
They did. But when you have them, when you have that offensive line, which despite some injuries, they are doing a fantastic job, 1, protecting Baker, and 2, allowing those running backs to be as good as they can be. They're very hard to come back from. When you're up 28-21, whatever. I think that was 28-0, and then it was like 48-29. Yeah, Pittsburgh would have these little bits of momentum, but anyway, it just wasn't enough. Now, this game with Kansas City, they're well rested, they're at home, they have fans, they just have offensive weapons. I don't know, Jordan, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire on track to play?
I haven't actually looked it up.
Okay,
I was planning on it.
Okay, I figured So,
yeah.
Even if not,
it's only Monday when we're filming this, so I don't think they have injury reports out yet.
No, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just wondering if you knew. No big deal. But the point is, no matter who's out there, they have weapons. They have, just the coaching. They have Mahomes. So I think Cleveland and the Chiefs will pretty much go blow for blow for the first half, but then I do think the Chiefs will pull away a little bit as the game ends, but I think the Browns will absolutely put up a fight and, at least, lose with a lot of dignity, not get blown out like the Steelers did. Chiefs win 41-31, but I think it'll be very close for a solid half.
And Tyler, I just want to say one more thing before you start talking.
No.
You might be saying this too, but the Chiefs in the past recent weeks have been playing down to their opponents. And so in a playoff game, you better hope they don't do that. They played down to the Falcons in that game.
That was the last time the starters
teams
played.
as well, yeah. So maybe you could say the Dolphins as well when they played them.
Well, the Dolphins are decent.
No, they're a good team, absolutely. But they definitely were playing down to them. They were not playing their best football game in that game. So the Chiefs, they really can't play down to their opponents. It's been a bit of a streak the past few weeks. I think they'll get off of it as I had them winning. But Tyler, I don't know if you're going to say that. I just felt it was important to say.
Actually, Jordan, that was my exact script as to what I was going to start with. I'm just talking about, the last time we saw these Chiefs playing the Falcons, they only put up 17 points against that Falcons defense. And that was with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and all the starters in. This is a stoppable team. And the Browns have a team, like Ryan said, that if they can get ahead, they can really take this game away. But with the Chiefs, is that really possible? I don't know. There's a lot of people saying this game's going to be a blowout. The Browns, getting past the first round just to get blown out against the Chiefs. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they can really put up a fight, but in the end, I think the Chiefs are just too good. They'll score more than 17 points this game, putting up 33 points, beating the Browns 33-23. I think this one could be one of the more interesting games until the end, just because the spirit of the Browns and the Chiefs, playing down to their opponents, as you guys mentioned. So we'll see what happens, but I got the Chiefs 33-23, as I said. All right, last game of this divisional.
Quick cut in. This is from January 5th, so a bit of time ago, but it said Edwards-Helaire is on track for playoffs. So
yeah, they'll be fine either way. Like, they have ridiculous offensive weapons. That's why I picked them, even with how good Cleveland's been looking. But yeah, as if they need another offensive weapon.
It's tough to pick against Kansas City in the playoffs.
Playoff game, I'd love to see him go off though. That would just be so satisfying.
I think we all expect a fairly high scoring game.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right, last one, as I mentioned, I don't think I said what it was yet, but it's the Buccaneers at the Saints. This is the third time seeing this matchup. Obviously, Tom Brady against Drew Brees. This is probably the last time we will see these two play against each other. I think this one might be the best game of the weekend, hence why it was put last on the schedule, I would assume. The Buccaneers are mad. They've lost to the Saints twice, and it wasn't even close both times, to be quite frank. The Saints have been dominating the Buccaneers throughout this year, and that's due to the slow, methodical offense they've had with potential to have bursts. And more we're seeing the Buccaneers start to have that same formula later on the season. A lot early on in the season was is this Buccaneers team going to live up to the potential that they had with all these offensive weapons? And for a long time, that wasn't the case. But as we got closer to the playoffs, and even against Washington in that playoffs, they were able to do the job. And this team has vastly improved from the beginning of the season. As for the Saints, this defense I want to mention before I state my pick is the reason why I'm choosing the way I am. They have been so good. I kind of just spoiled what it is. But they've just been so good recently. You saw what they did against the Bears, even though that's not the greatest offense in the world. They've been stopping teams like it's nobody's business, and really they lost to Jalen Hurts, who they hadn't really seen yet. So that's tough on the defense. But other than that, this Saints team has been very consistent. I think they continue the consistency and win 36-30. All right, so there's my pick. Ryan, what's yours?
Well, you had some good points there, and it's just so cool that we're going to be able to see Brady and Breeze probably for the last time ever, but 3 times in a year. And when that happens, you ask yourself the question, it's so difficult to beat a team, the same team, 3 times in a year. The Saints are 2-0 against Tampa, swept them in the regular season. Will they be able to do it again? Well, I think it just, depends on if the Saints can play well on defense, which I think they can. They've been playing lights out lately, allowing their offense to have, good field position, not have to play from behind too much. That's not been an issue. But with their offense, people make fun of, Drew Brees for not having arm strength or Michael Thomas for, only running slant routes. But I did notice he had 1 deep ball in the wild card game. It was kind of funny. It was like a nice catch, too, and a nice throw by Brees. So he did run 1, go route. So there's that. But also, in all seriousness, I think that if you have a guy like Alvin Kamara in the backfield, you don't need to take unnecessary risks on the field because you check it down to him, defenses can't stop him. Look what he did on Christmas. Look what he's been doing all year. So if you have 5-10 free yards, and especially when it's the playoffs where every play is so important, why take unnecessary risks? The Buccaneers don't quite have a playmaker like that at the running back position, so I expect them to try and stretch the field more, not to mention they have great receivers anyway. Antonio Brown is doing good. Godwin and Evans are already doing good. They have so much depth at that position, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I expect a back-and-forth game. I think that it's going to be that because these teams know each other so darn well. This is the 3rd time, in 4 or 5 months that they're meeting. The Saints won the first 2. Will they win this one? I think they do. Like I said, it'll be back and forth. There's going to be a lot of familiarity, maybe some bad blood, who knows. But at the end of the day, I think the Saints make a late defensive stop. No 4th quarter heroics for Brady this time, and the Saints advance to the NFC Championship. They win 26-23.
Yeah, both of these teams getting wins last week, and you could say it's pretty convincingly, but there are reasons for concerns with both teams. The Buccaneers were in a closer game than many people thought it should have been against the Washington football team. Shout out to Taylor Heineke for playing the way he did and stepping in there. It was really, really cool thing to see in sports. Absolutely.
Honestly.
And then the Saints, if you look at the final score, it really wasn't that close, especially considering that the Bears scored in the last place from scrimmage. But if a few plays went different in that game, I truly believe that my Chicago Bears would have been in that game. And so I think the Saints have some things to clean up. I picked the Saints at the beginning of the season to win the Super Bowl. I think this is going to be a good game, especially considering the fact that these teams know each other. They know each other's tendencies. And it's going to be a hard-fought playoff battle, as the all-divisional round games should be. I have the Saints winning 34-28, though, and keep my predictions alive. It's got to be nice for you guys to have your predictions alive for the Super Bowl. Yeah.
You still got the one team. You had Seattle and Kansas City. So you still got the loser in there. So maybe you'll get one.
But,
by the way, I've gotten at least one of my teams correct 3 years in a row. So we'll see if that continues. I think I got a good shot.
Seattle just disappointed me, man.
Yeah. Me too. I didn't pick them to go that far.
We should stop talking about them. They don't deserve us even mentioning them. That's how much you disappointed me. Anyways, that's the video.
I picked the Rams
thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, comment your opinions about these games down below, who you want to pick, as well as your opinions on what we said during this video. Don't know what else I forgot. Oh, podcast, go check that out, and the Instagram as well. I think I mentioned everything. So with that, we will see you guys later. See ya.